And why should someone, I mean, yeah, most of our people who watch this will have found us on LinkedIn, and they'll be engineers or maybe product designers or even finance people. Why should they care about photo imaging? Photo editing. What's in it for them?
Well, when you're looking at things like your profile photograph or your product photos, especially product photos being consistent, that's something that retouching is really big on, is creating a consistent brand across all of the imagery. So whether that's something that you do yourself or you get a marketing company to do or you get a retoucher to do, keeping it consistent is massive just to build trust with your brand.
Great. And I'm sure that we're going to talk a lot about things like profile images, because I guess it's probably the most common fingerprint that exists for the people that we're talking to. And one of the things you've taught me is that you have about 1.7 seconds for your photograph to make an impression on the person that's watching it. Can you tell us a bit more about that?
So that's kind of that's this very specific. The average usually is set out in the industry is about 2 seconds, and it really depends on social media that you're using as to how that translates. But yeah, you've got no time at all because if you think about what you scroll, if you're a scroller or if you're on any kind of social media, even LinkedIn, you're looking. The first thing you see is your image. Your image is your first hook. So before the words, the image is the thing that people see or the video. So they've got to look either on brand or be stand out enough to stop somebody from scrolling and to then start reading your words.
Right. And we're going to talk a lot, I know, about how to take an image and 5 simple things that you can do to that image just to make them pop. What are people, you talk about scrolling, and it doesn't really matter where you're scrolling, whether that's Instagram or on a website or on LinkedIn. What are people looking for in an image? And I guess it's not a conscious thing, right? It's the brain somehow doing something, they're seeing an image and they're making an instant judgment. What are they looking at?
Well, the subconscious side of things, the brain is looking at how it's composed, the lighting, the style, and the style across is the same across any creative. So whether that's graphic design, whether that's illustration, whether that's photography, even painting, all of that, there is a certain set of rules that our brain just naturally sees and thinks, "Oh, that's a really great image." And most people won't know what they are, but understanding what those are is just sort of the first step to getting a really great image. And all the images across time that we've got as the best images in the world all adhere to that, to some of those rules at least, because otherwise we just wouldn't see them and think, wow, they're amazing.
And I guess that one of the problems that a lot of people watching or listening to this will have is that they're not experts and they'll just take a quick snap, throw it up and say, yeah, that'll do. But what they don't realize is that a potential hirer or a potential client is looking at that. And it could be the difference between let me reach out and chat or contact, or I don't like that and I'm going to scroll past.
Yeah, we all have our own natural people that we will be attracted to or be drawn to. And I think that by having a great photograph of yourself in a comfortable situation that um, it just shows who you are, people are going to stop and go, oh, I like that person. And then that image will take them to your profile. Then they're reading all the great words that you've got, and then they're looking at what it is that you can do for them or how you can help them. And yeah, massively important. I'm definitely somebody that looks at the image before anything else.
Yeah. And we're going to talk about food quite a lot because I think it's a subject that, again, this is a business podcast. And so LinkedIn's the natural, but food is a really good reference point because you get menus through the door. You look at websites of restaurants or takeaways. You even go to a shop window and look at the photographs and you make an instant judgment on them. What difference does it make when the image, is right, when they've been through your 5 basic tips and they've transformed an image from something which is not very appealing to something which is suddenly now more appealing? What's the shift? What's the difference?
I think it's just an instant, okay, I'm going to keep reading. So whereas you get a menu from a takeaway that's got images that they've taken on their phone that they've just snapped and they've put up. They're dull. They don't really show the food in any kind of great way. And you get the same type of menu, which we almost always have multiples of the same types of food in terms of menus in our houses. You get the same kind of food that you want, and you look at it, and the images are bright, they're colorful, they've had some care taken in how they've been set up and shot. So whether that was them or a photographer, but it doesn't have to be a photographer. All you have to do is think about how you've laid the plate out and then done a bit of editing afterwards, and the image just pops. And you're going to look at one and think, oh, that looks pretty unprofessional, and then look at the other one and think, oh, that looks really good. I'm going to try there.
And that's the journey that we want to take people on today, isn't it? We're not trying to get people to become professional retouchers. We're just trying to get people to be aware of the images that they post and make some simple tweaks.